Hi folks, I'm Ian Baker, and today we're going to go over the 2020 Vintage Cruiser 19 CSK. The Vintage Cruiser line has been doing very well the last year or two, and they're really expanding the floor plans, and we're getting some more with slides in them. With the 19 CSK, of course, you have the bedroom up front, you have the slide-out sofa here, helping to open up this kind of main living area / kitchen space, and then you have the bathroom in the back, and it still maintains an overall shorter length and isn't too terribly heavy. When we take a look at the kitchen itself, you will notice that the T-molding on here is a different color. It's the green, the teal, which is cool because it kind of helps, help bring everything together from the newer backsplash to the bedspread to the sofa colors. And I will also mention that I do like the backsplash there. I think they did a pretty good job with that. You have the prep space over to this side. Also, you have the recessed sink top cover with the glass cover, recessed cooktop with the glass cover and the sink top cover here so that you have all of this as usable prep space. For the cooktop, we'll fold this up and back. This also kind of doubles as a backsplash, the glass does there. You have the nice upgraded grates on there. The knobs do light up, very similar to the Furion. This one is a gray stone cooktop. And if we drop that down, you will see the oven underneath for baking. Moving over to this side, as I mentioned, you have the sink top cover, high-rise faucet. The sink top cover can be used as a cutting board. I always recommend using the bottom so you don't dirty up the top, stays looking nice. And then you have the stainless steel sink. Now, personally, this is just my opinion. I feel like the sink is a little bit too modern for the rest of the camper. Kind of same thing with the cooktops. They went with a very modern-looking kitchen. But, it is still a nice sink because it is deep. Not super wide here, but the fact it is deep allows you to put some larger pots and pans down in there. You will notice the window for natural light during the day. Of course, you have an LED light here at night. Up across the top, excellent pantry storage there. You have lights up here as well as the accent lighting, microwave, a little bit of additional storage right there. You will also see your multimedia center, microwave, and then the hood right underneath. Underneath the countertop, over to the side here, you have some good pots and pan storage. Personally, I would have preferred they just didn't have the shelf in here. It would have been a big open space for a trash can, but, having a spot to put a lot of pots and pans is nice. A little bit of storage underneath the oven there as well. And then you have 3 drawers. This first one is a little bit shallower just because of the P-trap, the plumbing in there. The bottom 2 are a little bit larger. You will also see the accent lighting you have underneath. You can turn that off if you so choose. Making our way over here a little bit. So, of course, entry door, you will see you have a little cubby hole right there. Not 100% sure what you could stick in there, but I'm sure you can find something for it. And then on the back wall, an extra wardrobe. This is always a great thing to have. It lets you obviously bring more clothes with you, or if you're camping in some colder climates, it gives you a good spot to hang up jackets. You will see the Dometic fridge freezer combo has that same kind of teal front on there. Plenty of space, runs off propane and electric, and of course has automatic switchover. You have the furnace right down underneath, direct vent furnace in a camper this size. It's really all you need. And it's in the very back, blowing straight forward. Nothing to, no walls or anything that are right in front of it. So it'll definitely do a great job. This wall here, this is the thermostat. This is just for the furnace. There is a roof-mounted AC, but the controls for that are on the AC unit itself. And you will also see your tank monitoring panel with your water pump control located there. In the back is the bathroom. So there's some things I like about the bathroom, some things I don't. First off, the thing I don't like about it, it's a very narrow doorway. And because of where the shower is, you basically have to turn sideways to fit in here. I'm not super huge. I have fairly broad shoulders, but as you can see, it's just not happening. But, once you do sneak in, there is plenty of room for the toilet. It's a little tight, but I've definitely been in tighter situations. This isn't awful, and I have pretty good space here for my legs. My left leg's contending with the neo-angle shower a little bit, but again, it's definitely more than adequate. You will notice your countertop space over to the side, little cubby hole right underneath that. It is worth mentioning there's an electrical outlet down here as well, so if you're wondering where to plug in like your hair dryer, curling iron, that's the place to do it. Little bit of storage there as well as plumbing access. Right up top, mirrored medicine cabinet. Plus you have this right up here, which I really like because it gives you a place to put your towels, right? As you'll see, you don't really have any like robe hooks or anything in here, so this gives you a spot to put a lot of your bath towels. You can just roll them up in there. New angle shower. The doors are on a roller track. That way when you're done showering, the water goes right down the door into the shower pan, not all over your floor, which is a problem you have with some curtains a lot of times in showers. And as far as the shower height, again, this is a big plus for me. I'm 6 foot tall. As you can see, I can stand in here pretty much anywhere in the shower, don't have to duck down. Skylight gives a tiny bit more, so maybe if you're 6'1", possibly 6'2", but that'd be stretching it. You can stand straight up. You have the hand shower there, and then some shelving in the back. When we step out of the bathroom, we'll make our way around. You'll see an electrical outlet here, which is great because that way if you're sitting in the sofa, you have a place to plug in tablet or laptop or whatever else, cell phone. And then, of course, the slide-out sofa itself. The great thing about this, as I mentioned, is it helps open up this space, which not only makes it feel a lot larger, but if you have like dogs or anything that come camping with you, it gives them a space where they can kind of move around in a space to lay down. This is essentially a jackknife sofa, so it just lifts up and drops right down that way to fold down into a bed. Definitely not anything huge, but if you have like a child or grandchild staying with you, that's an additional place that they can sleep. Window, of course, and then some storage right along the sides. I personally would have liked to have seen a light or maybe two, just, small little LED puck lights in here to help lighten up the slide. You have one, a little bit up a ways, but at night I feel like that may be a little dark. You'll also see your AC unit, as I mentioned, roof-mounted AC unit. The controls for that are on there. And over to this side, this is where your TV will be located. Now, it does have a removable mount, so you can just take this whole arm off and take that outside if you wish. And then, this obviously will allow you to kind of swing the TV around so you can get a better view from the sofa there. And then your hookups for that are right underneath. In the very front is the bed. It's an RV queen, so it's 74 inches long, 6 inches shorter than your standard residential. When we lift this up, you will see it is strut supported. You have your fresh tank underneath there. Also, if we lift this up, you'll see that is where the spare tire is located. But it does have a cover, which is great, so that way, if you want to use that for storage, you still can. And I like the bedspread. They changed it kind of late last year, going from the postage stamps to just kind of help making everything blend in a little bit better. It's a little more seamless. They did keep the same the pillowcases, but I like them. It shows like what they call the woody, right, with the wood panels on the side there. And then you have a couple reading lights. Now, if you want the blue accent light, it does do that too. So if you just push it, you kind of like this blue accent light, or if you push and hold the button, you will get the reading light. Storage across the top. I enjoy the fact it has doors on it, so that way if you have like underwear and stuff up there, it's not hanging out for the world to see. And over to this side, on both sides, you have additional wardrobe space. So not only do you have the wardrobes on both sides, but remember you do have that hang space in the back by the refrigerator. If you have additional guests and you want some privacy, you will notice that you have a curtain here, so at nighttime, so you have that privacy too. Now that we've seen the inside, let's take a look at some of the outside features on the 2020 Vintage Cruiser 19 CSK. Even though this looks vintage, it does not have any old school amenities, and part of that is the fact it makes life a lot easier with a power tongue jack. Simply flip the rocker switch here to raise and lower the tongue. Also, of course, there is a manual override in the rare event that the motor in here does fail. Right behind that, you have two 20-pound propane tanks with a cover. You'll see you have rails for your battery. The frame is painted that same teal we see on the outside and on the inside, which is cool. And right underneath is a storage spot for your sewer hose, because this one does not have your square bumper. You'll also see the diamond plating coming up the front, helping to protect the front end from some of the rocks and debris that may get thrown up by your tow vehicle. And above that, this is a seamless one-piece fiberglass from the front all the way up top for the roof and down the back. Couple great things about that, the main one being the fact there is less chance for water penetration because you don't have the seams going across. Normally you have a roof membrane, seams, and then the front and the back. This eliminates that. Also, because of the curvature of the unit, the rain naturally wants to run to the front and the back, and again, as I mentioned, you don't have any seams there. So it is a nice construction method. The one downside to it, of course, is the fact it's not a walkable roof, so you can't get up there and walk around. So if you need to brush anything off, you want to make sure you bring a ladder with you. Right around the side is solar prep. If you want solar, simply buy the portable panels, plug it in right there, and it will trickle charge your battery. The pass-through has a covered hinge, so you won't have a bunch of water coming down, slam latch baggage door, and it's magnetic, so you can put it up just like so. When we take a look inside, you will see this table. Now, this is meant to go inside in front of the couch in there, or the sofa. That way you have a table you can eat at or play games at or whatever. If you want to use it outside, you can. Just you don't want to leave it outside because it is wood and it will warp and everything else. But you know, it is great that it comes with it. The door on the other side is a little bit smaller, but you do have the larger door here, so you can fit like grills, bigger chairs, and stuff like that in your pass-through. Power awning comes out with a touch of a button, same thing to go back in, and has an LED light strip on there. Couple outside speakers, which are controlled by the multimedia center inside, but that unit is Bluetooth capable. And as I mentioned inside, that TV arm does come out, so you can just have the TV mounted on there, grab the whole thing, bring it right out here, slap it in place, plug it in, and then you only have to have one TV. You don't have to have an extra for the outside. You can just kind of use the same one to swap it in and out, which is pretty great. Make our way back a little bit further. 2 foldable steps to get into the camper, as well as the grab handle. It is worth mentioning too that in this sticker right here kind of shows you that this one uses Asdel composite panels. That's a great thing to have too, folks. It definitely costs more from the manufacturer, but they use that instead of Luan. And the big advantages to that is, one, it's a green material, so you don't have like a lot of the off-gassing. So if you're really sensitive to that, you don't have to worry about it in here. And also it doesn't absorb water. So if you do get any kind of water in your walls, you know, you won't get that bunch of delamination due to that water. It's not going to rot out in there. So that, again, it does have some couple of advantages, and plus a little bit lighter weight, which anytime you can save weight in a camper is a great thing too. You will see backup camera prep, so if you want a backup camera, having it prepped means it'll be easier to install, so it'll save you money on labor. You'll see the bumper. It does have a bumper, but as I mentioned, it's not the square one, so it doesn't give you a spot to put your sewer hose, but it will still protect the back end a little bit if you accidentally bump something as you're backing up. Hopefully the backup camera will prevent you from doing that. 30 amp detachable power cord plugs right in there, cable and satellite inlets, outside water connection, spray port right here. Your city water inlet is right next to that, and this one does have a black tank flush. So if you want to wash out the black tank, which I do recommend doing when you're done camping, instead of sticking a hose down your toilet to wash it out, you just hook it up right there. Sprayers are built in that black tank. It'll wash it out for you. If you drop down a little bit, you'll notice the termination on this one. It does have both your black and gray tank valves located there too. And if we make our way all the way up front, in front of the slide out, you will see your fresh tank fill. All right, folks, and that wraps it up. All right, folks, and that wraps it up. Again, this is the 2020 Vintage Cruiser 19 CSK. If you're interested in this travel trailer and you would like price and availability, simply click on the link in the description. Thanks again for watching. I'm Ian Baker, and let's go camping.